Ben Bradley MP, I understand that you're not going to be doing compulsory unconscious bias training. Presumably that must mean you're a terrible racist.
Well, apparently so. This is why we all need training. The premise, of course, being that we are all unknown to ourselves. We are absolutely racist and horrible people, and we need to have that educated out of us. Personally, I think I'm all right, and I quite like my views and beliefs. So I'm going to stick with those, but I have been hauled into the Speaker's office for a telling off later this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so hang on a second. You're a Conservative. How can you be in a situation where you're being forced to do something which is so antithetical to Conservative values?
Yeah, well, they're still planning the unconscious bias training. We were forced to do valuing everybody training over the summer, which was 2 hours, £750,000 of be nice to your staff and don't sexually harass them, which obviously I needed lessons on. So now we're doing, they're planning unconscious bias training. £7,000 for the planning. They use a nice blue puppet, like primary school style stuff.
Do they?
In some of the previous stuff they've done, so I'm looking forward to, hopefully.
What? So you're a grown man, and Parliament, the UK Parliament, wants to get a blue puppet to teach you how. Oh, you mustn't be racist. Is that the kind of thing?
Be careful about the language. So this company that run it, some of their previous sessions, you dig through the history is, you shouldn't use words like pensioner in case people are offended. You shouldn't call people ladies because that might be, sexist. It's really mad stuff. And it permeates its way through Parliament, right? I've been told off in the tea room for referring to my wife because that's possessive. I shouldn't.
Who told you off?
Shouldn't do that. Conservative MP, sadly.
You're not serious.
State of the world. But I'm really pleased that actually, having written about this and said, you know what, I'm not going to bloody do it, there are a lot of colleagues who have come out and said, no, neither are we, which is probably why I'm going to get told off.
But Ben, it should have been a no-brainer for all Conservative MPs to say no to this nonsense. Why aren't more standing up to it?
Well, I think we'll find that a lot do stand up to it, if it even happens, because I hope that having kind of kicks off and caused this big fuss, perhaps the House of Commons authorities might think again about what they do with it. Obviously, government doesn't run the Commons; it's kind of the Speaker's office and the House authorities independently. So, not Conservatives in charge of it from that perspective. But there's certainly been a lot of support for what I've said this week, and a lot of colleagues who are going to take the same stance. Hopefully, we can stop the whole thing.
Have you looked into what unconscious bias training entails and whether it has been successful in changing people's views on race?
I can find no evidence that it's been successful, and we've seen it over the last day or so. Trump in the US has kind of banned all of this kind of critical race theory stuff from institutions, even from business that wants to do business with government, which I think is exactly right, frankly. It's indoctrination, isn't it? And the idea that we can go out into the country, given the history, right? Brexit, everybody who disagrees with me is racist, emanating out from the establishment. The idea that the establishment should then go and re-educate those people on their views. We all have our own opinions based on our experiences and our background and our beliefs, and we're individuals, and that's the way it should be.
You've just done something that I've heard very few MPs do. You said something nice about Donald Trump.
He has many faults. I'm not sure about diplomacy by Twitter and all various other bits, but but actually, in terms of the pride in your country and the patriotism and booting out this kind of lefty nonsense from government and from our institution, I think he's bang on. And I think ultimately, frankly, it is that patriotism and pride and common sense values the reason that people in seats like mine shifted away from Labour in the last election. So we need to follow through.